Guys, I am International Master Minh and now I'm trying to give you guys a game analysis. This game actually happened for a long time ago. Yeah, in 1960 between Letelier and Fischer. And this is a game about how Fischer played the King's Indian. It is a pretty short game, but also really nice and instructive game as well. So hopefully you guys can enjoy this. Okay, so in the game, as I mentioned about the King's Indian, right? D4, knife 6, C4 and G6, C3, G7, E4, castles. This is just the move order. I mean, like, you can play D6 first as well, which is the main move. Castles is only the, changing move order, not that much. Castles. Sometimes castles is pretty fun. I mean, like, this can trick an opponent to go for something pretty wrong here. And thanks secret sauce for the $5 as well. Appreciate that. So now in the game, white see that. Okay, now it is a chance to go for the attack.
I enjoy your streams. I read that you have 2 GM norms. I hope you get the third one and the title soon. Best wishes.
Oh my gosh, this is so adorable. This is so warm. Thank you, buddy. And if you hear from me, so I will try my best to do not, disappoint you guys. That's so warm. Oh my gosh. It was so cool and so adorable. I mean, like, this is the move that can be playable as well. But castles is like the move of the changing move order. If you play knife 3, you play d6. It is the same. But castles actually have a cool thing here that actually, I can say lure white to push e5. This is a move in the game. That seems to be so natural, right? I mean, like, white want to punish black by not pushing d6, and then he wants to take over the center right away. He wants to take over the space as well. You know about the King's Indian, so somehow it is the opening that slightly violated the rules. Opening rule is when you want to grab over the center, right? You want to simply trying to, like, getting center, controlling that, and get a pawns there. But the King's Indian is a bit different. I mean, like, at first, so black only care for, like, playing knight f6, and then he will, like, abandon the center for a while. What he want to do is that he will try to, simply challenging that in the future by d6 on e5 or c5, right? Knight e8, f4. I mean, like, when you say A, so you should say B. Obviously, if you play like knight 3 here, so simply after d6, your pawn will become weak, right, and will be easily targeted, like this one or this one. So f4 is the idea to not only cement the pawn on e5, but also getting more space as well. As you can see, so somehow the white pawn looks so, scary, right, and looks like really active at first. But the thing is that in the opening, pushing a lot of pawns like this can be tricky, and also it slow down your development. d6. Fischer start to counter in the center. Feel free to ask me any question if you want to. This game is gonna be not so long, only 23 moves, but it's very, very nice for sure. Bishop e3. Developing the bishops, and look to defend this pawn on d4 as well. Here actually black can do a lot of stuff, but typical to the King's Indian, and when the opponent simply, like, don't care about castling, so you can simply trying to start the attack right away, and in the game Fischer strike away right away with c5. Is it not a good idea to weaken the h4 diagonal for white? I mean, like, to weaken that, so what can you do? I mean, you can play e6 maybe, but what to do with this? Basically, white can simply defend with knight 3 or g3. So now here, you know, black decided to strike right away in the center, where actually white seems to be so strong, and white seems to be so, I can say, having a lot of squares and spaces. But no, basically you can see that when you take on the pawns here, so suddenly this seems to be so hanging and so weak. Also, I mean, like, the idea to go for something like queen h4, something like that, only works if the pieces can, you know, help a bit. But no, I mean, like, white can simply defend easily, so that's not working. And as I said earlier many times in my stream, my favorite player is Levon Aronian. c5. First of all, it seems to be black is, you know, sacrificing a pawn, right? It seems to be. That's why in the game white take on c5. And due to the pin here, black cannot captures back to c5, right? And e5 as well. But I mean, like, you can see to take the pawn, so white just takes small risk that he didn't even like care about development. That's why here it's fine for black to go for combination and keep developing pieces. Knight c6. Bringing the knight into the game, defend the queen here, targeting the center and the pawn e5 as well. And you can see that although black's down a pawn, he's starting to get some attack against the white king, which is still on the center at this moment. You understand? cd6. Actually, this is bad move by white. I mean, like, you think it's obviously clear. I mean, he is down in development, right? So whenever you have the situation like this, you need to be really fast in terms of development, trying to develop as fast as you can, and simply trying to get your king into safety. But taking this pawn actually is so tricky, and obviously it slows down your development, and it only accelerates the attack by black, right? e6. Knight e4 was played by white. The idea is that he wants to keep attacking on this pawn. I mean, right now simply he doesn't care about defense anymore. If you play e6 here, it's bad since it allows black to go for this. And now you can see that although white's down a pawn, his king is like in the middle of the center, right? And all the pieces is not developing yet. c5 to exchange queens, right? Simply like rook e8. It starts to look so bad for him right now. The attack starts to tell, and when this bishop drops, it is just so bad for him. How to defend the bishops? Now, okay, let's play queen d2 and knight 5. It is just, I think, losing right away, right? It's nice spin, seriously. But if you play, like, you know, for instance, king f2, now I think even like queen e7, or even this one can work, so you can say. The king is so weak. Why is white not developing anything? You know, I mean, like, in the game, so white simply want to take material, and he doesn't care about like developing. Now I think knight f3 or bishop e2 should be the best way. Like, white should try spats to developing right away. Instead of, you know, just staying there and doesn't do anything. But in the game he thinks like this. If you take an e5, so he can go to queen d8 and like maybe bishop c5 to capture the rook on f8. I think this is what white thinks in the game. So he's just attacking more on the pawn on d6. But obviously it is very bad for sure. c5 works? No. c5, I mean, like, at the very least you take here and here and here. It's at the very least. And suddenly right now you don't have this one anymore. You understand? I mean, like, am I talking too fast, or I mean, is my analysis not so easy to understand? Suddenly, I see the chat so empty, so I just want to ask question first. Also, back here in a second, I want to get water first. Back here again. I mean, I'm trying my best to explaining things, so hopefully you enjoy that and you understand what I'm trying to talk. Sure? Okay, so 98. And then, I mean, simply right now, although the material is equal, black seems to developing faster, and that, I mean, I think pretty good for you. I mean, these are the boss for sure. I mean, if there are 1,000 people here, so there should be like 1,000 chatters. But okay, there are only a few guys here. But okay, I mean, I don't worry much for that. I just want to make sure that my explanation is clear enough, and you guys can understand what I'm trying to explain. That's all. So in the game here, 94. The idea is explained earlier. And now guys, this actually is a bad move. Talking about the same idea, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, that right now the white king is still in the center, right? So like, who already down pawn here didn't even care about the material. Queen f5 actually is a nice move, but here in the game, black simply keep developing bishop f5. This is a very good move for sure. Basically, it is like, come on, take my pawn. You can take that. But you can see that if you take here, so simply, one of our pieces has been developed. But white hasn't do anything. The same, right? And the develop goes so fast. Imagine if you take here, takes, and queen takes here. This is so scary, I can tell you. Like now, black can play, I don't know, like f6 5, even like queen e8, and then this is next. One pieces has been opened up here, and simply white on the up two pawns looks so underdeveloped, right? That's why in the game he retreated with knight g3. Okay, so now I got a question here first. This one might be tricky here. So now white attempt to exchange his bishops. Do you think it is important to keep that bishops? And if you're black here, what would you do? Let's try to make a move and make some recommendation. I may try to explain everything if I can. I give you 1 minute. Let's give your move here and start. Well, you guys can see that, right? I mean, there are not a lot of people here. I mean, obviously, I mean, you know, like, I need some more guys to get in here, but okay. So, guys, I see some of the moves like, okay, bishop e6, pin the knight with queen, which is like this one, right? Queen h4, d5 as well. Any other ideas? I mean, I just want to, have everyone in this stream get here and also, like, understand the positions. So if you really want to understand things, you need to think first. So I just want to give you guys some time to think. I don't really want to get hasty. What is h3? What do you mean h3 usually? What do you mean h3? This move? I mean, this is so slow when you're trying to attack. So why do you need to spend a tempo on that move? Makes sense, surely. That makes sense. I cannot even argue with that. But okay. But okay. So now, actually, the best move here. I mean, first you need to think about on the possibilities, and right now, I mean, obviously you need to think that what you should do against this Magic 3 retreat. Now there are plenty of stuff you can do here. Let me try to explain through everything. First of all, now if you play like Queen h4, it's not a good move, since it allows knight 3, right? And suddenly your queen need to run home without any kind of clear threats. You understand? So this is not a good move, since like your queen need to get home without any good plan. And you allow him to, develop a peaceful tempo as well, which is not good in most of the cases. Rook c8. This move seems to be nice, but actually, I mean, the rook is not that, like active in the c file. I don't think it really do a lot of stuff in the c file for sure. And also, I mean, like, you can think about something different later that in the future you can bring the rook to the d and the e file, right? What more? d5 here. This is actually one of the best moves, maybe by the engine. Since, I mean, like, although he can trade a queen here, like this one. But still, I mean, like, we get some counterplay, and the bishop is pretty strong. Rook can occupy the d file, but it's still nothing clear. I think we can play this move. This will be quite tricky as well. Right? I mean, the thing here right now is that you need to like figure out that is that move really dangerous. in a game here, Fischer simply think that. I mean, this is a very nice thing I need to tell you. When you are attacking, most of the time, you should not allow the piece trades. Let's remember that. That's why actually, Queen e7 also is a nice thing to play. Take here, and actually the pressure along the e file actually is pretty annoying. This is also working as well. But in the game, Fischer think differently. He play bishop e6. 3-6. And simply he refrained from exchanging material. On the pressure is still here. But now somehow the bishop get away, and he don't need to like worry for the threat anymore. So one lesson you should know is that when you are attacking, so please refrain from the exchange. You understand? Bishop 6. Knight 3. Simply now was trying to get the pieces into the game. Obviously, d5 right now can win back the pawn, but simply as I mentioned earlier, when you're attacking, you don't need to care about the the threats, especially the queen threats. That's why here, like continues with queen c7. Getting the queen away from the d file. Also right now putting more pressure along this diagonal, and d5 will be nice. You understand? I mean, I'm trying to be really, talking in details and, talking through all the chess lessons. Hopefully you can understand this. This is C7. Okay, let's get back to work here. C7. In the game, actually, white plays something really hard to explain. Really hard to explain, I can tell you. Queen B1. This move is damn hard to be explained, I can tell you. Like, why you playing this? The only thing I can tell you about this one is that he wants to play F5 after we take on D5. I mean, obviously taking here alone on D6. And this is not something so nice for white. Now we go like rook D8 here with it, and all pieces are developed, right? And it's not easy for white to developing here. This pawn is hanging, this pawn is hanging as well. Rook can get into the game in only a minute. Queen B1, the main idea of that is that, like, if take on E5, the F5. And that at least, like, doesn't allow the open of the position. That is it. But Queen C2, I think Queen C2 might allow knight before this one. So I think that's why he didn't play. He didn't play the move Queen 2 C2. That's why. So by Queen B1 and play F5 like this, he wants to simply close the position as much as he can. But sadly for him, he missed what will be next. D5, F5. And now he comes like one of the best moves in the game. Oops, my voice surely is cracked. Well, I mean, you hear that my voice actually is pretty crack. So hopefully you can enjoy the lessons. I mean, I will try my best. Okay, so now F5. The thing is that now if you take here, so now F5, and unless it seems to be that position is still being closed. But no, Fischer say no. Now there's something so strong here I need to tell you in the game. E4 exclamation mark. This is hella annoying. Yes, E4 exclamation mark. By playing E4, and kill a shot, you're correct. By playing E4, you can open up the position, and now take here, allow this one, and your Queen E4 allow like something like 96 to attacking with both pieces. Also, like this can be playable as well. That's why. So E4, the move that attempts to open the position and also open the bishop as well, right? You understand? I'm trying to be pretty slow, so hopefully you understand that. The move E4 is trying to open up everything, the file, the bishops, and get tempo for pieces to get in. In the game, what happened is like he take the bishops, M6, EF3. Obviously, right? Obviously. GF3. And guys, time for the questions first. Now, if you're black, what would you do here? If you're black, there are plenty of stuff you can play here, but there's only a move that can give us like huge initiatives. What is that? Let's play and find the best move here. Let's go. Well, just see first. I mean, like, on guys here, just like, recommend your moves. I may try and explain everything. No worry. Where? Suck the queen? Where? This one. Actually, the next move by Fischer actually is one of the hardest one. I mean, like, it is not so tempting at first. This one is important to understand. F5 exclamation mark. It doesn't look so clear at first, but the idea is go F4 already. This is something good as well, but simply white can play bishop e2 and castles next. Also right now by this move, somehow we let the e5 close as well. By the move f5, we threaten play f4, and we can try and play knight f6, and this pawn actually cannot run as well. We can go like in group here and get this pawn with tempo as well. Also here this move actually the move f4 is so devastating. Queen a5 by anti-hierarchy. Let's see it. Queen e5. I think you can go like king f2 maybe. King f2. And take here, so e2 again. On a swing to e5, I think can win material, but not that much. Not that much. Basically, we're looking for a way to attacking, right? So that should not be enough. f5 is a move. You mean, like, I think it's that we play this one with a threat, with a clear threat that can be really tricky for him to defend against. f4 is so strong, and actually it's not easy for him to defend against this. Yes, the objective of the game is to checkmate the king, so f5 is the way. Also, I mean, this pawn can be collected by this one as well, so this pawn doesn't need to be really worried for. Keep going. f4, knight f6. Because basically all the move in the game is really clear. I mean, like, bringing the pieces in the game. Yeah, f4 and, you know, why stop the threat? But the knight can get to the game, and knight g4 and also rook e8 is some really threatening stuff that needs to be defended. You understand? Knight f6, bishop e2, defend against this. Simply f8. I think you can start to realize that there are tons of threats right now, and e5 suddenly looks so bad for him, right? Oh my goodness me! Thanks for the red Benjamin. Thanks for the red Benjamin. Oh my gosh! Thank you guys for the red. So hello, guys. I'm International Master Minh, and I mean right now I'm trying to go for the game analysis. Analyze my game. I mean no. Analyze the game by Fischer and earlier. I mean, this game is one of the nicest game by Fischer for sure. So you guys, I mean, like, some of you guys here may miss this one. If you play f5 here, I mean, you simply give a free pieces, alright? Take here. It's not something so strong here. I mean, like, you don't have a clear follow-up after the sacrifice. You can even try and play something in g4 as well, which is pretty devastating, right? Well, you only play London as white? No. Obviously no. So that's why f4 knight f6. Bishop e2. You defend against this knight g4 to e8 in the game. It's starting to get really tricky and dangerous. To e8. King f2. He wants to stay king f2 to defend things here, but sadly it doesn't work. King f2. Rook e6. You can see that the attack on the e5 starting to be so dangerous. I mean, you can basically understand the situation here and evaluating the position that right now you see this one, right? Basically, white pieces is start developing and the king is not so safe. But the king f2 is so bad, and we can bring all the things to the attack right now, which is looking so dangerous, right? That's why. in the game. So in the game, rook e6, rook e1, rook a8, and now something so fun happening. Bishop f3. You know, this looks like a very normal move, to defend against everything. But now here comes like the best move of the game, and I can tell you the game is already over. I mean, someone who knows that, you can also try and review that again. Now, black to play and win. Black to play and win. This is a very nice combination. Black to play and win. Let's try and see, and you can see that. Let's go. Just think for a while, I'm not so worried. Well, to make a good community, to make sure you guys can fully focus on the game. Well, nothing happened, but I mean, simply he just like took in something I don't understand and something shitty I can say. Guys, now you can see how strong attack can be, and this is the end of the position. Rook e3. This thing works basically because the white pieces is so cramped and so bad in the corner, right? In the corner. Rook e3. I mean now, okay, so I mean queen b6. So that should work for sure. Even like knight g4 and this one work as well. But the move in the game is so nice. Rook takes e3. It's here. And king e3 looks so normal, right? But now guys, here comes a very nice tricks. Guys, I just want to see if you can see this one. Black to play and win. And this is the triumph of the game by Fischer. Can you see that? Black to play and win. Let's go. You guys can think for a minute. Yes, queen f4 is so nice. Queen f4. It seems that, you know, we throw the queen in front of his king, but no. Allow the mate. It is mate already. In the game after queen f4, so why resign? But I mean, like, what happened then? If king e2 knight e4, right, and the bishop's dumped, and only the black pieces just crushed through. King f2 seems to be like the better defense as well, but sadly again is still losing. I mean, after I can say knight g4, this one, knight g4, and king g2, knight e3, and this one. Sadly for him, only the black pieces just crushed through right now, and nothing can be defended, right? Only thing just crushed through right now. only guys who cuts through here, and this is winning for sure. I mean, basically this game is like how, I mean, you just look at this position, and this is where like resign. So just show you this one to show you like Queenish one. Well, Queenish one. So one moment, I'll show you this one if you want to. Here, 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 and here, here. Nice before. Apparently, right now the knight cannot have to defend anything as well. You know, king f1 f3, and the king cannot have to defend that one anymore. And with this rook on a1, nothing you can do anymore. Sadly it is. Yes, it is. Okay guys, I mean this game is simply a pretty short game by Fischer for sure. But the thing I can show from this game is that how Fischer go for the attack, how he punished for wise likes of development, how he punished for wise greediness, and also how, you know, he try and bring the pieces to the attack, right? Slowly he always go for the threats than only material. He try and refrain exchanging pieces when up material as well, and you know, obviously he go for the final attacking that looks so nice. Okay, so any question? Any question from this game? I'm trying to answer things right now, and I'm going up as well. I mean, a bit tired, and actually my voice is a bit cracked. Time to rest maybe. Yes, that's why we love Fischer. That's why we love Fischer. I mean, like, his game is so nice. I mean, there are plenty of games that he's so well and some different stuff. Okay, guys. Well, Antier. Oh shit. Oh shit. I will ask for that later. Okay, so thank you guys for the game.